It's actually harmful to not move and lay flat for days in hospital. If you can possibly mobilise, you need to. You might go into hospital because you're not well, and you might have had an operation, etc. But the quicker we can mobilise and get you moving and weight bearing again, the better. Because lying flat at whatever age causes a loss of muscle and a loss of bone. But the more old and frail we are, the quicker we see that loss. So for example, you can see a loss of up to 1 kilo of muscle bulk in just a week of bed rest when you're older. But it's actually data from astronauts, etc., that we first learnt how quickly you can lose muscle and bone if you don't activate muscles. If you're 30 and you go in for an operation and you lie flat for a couple of days because you've had a major operation, when you first get up you go, oh, that's a bit stiff and I need to get moving again. But you don't notice it because you've got a lot of reserve. But when you're 80 or 90 and you've got not a lot of reserve, it might make the difference between you being able to weight bear at all in those 3 days of lying flat. Break up any period of sitting or lying at least once an hour while you're awake, obviously. And it could just be a little alarm on your phone, or it could be somebody prompting you, or it could be a whole variety of things, but you literally just have to stand up. That, in effect, stops the invasive effect of just lying, because all those muscles that you use to stand up gets the body moving, gets the blood flow going. It's important to go against this fear that if I've got patients mobilising, I might have more falls, which will reflect badly on the ward. Actually, we know that you don't see an increase in falls with increased mobilisation. You almost get an increase in energy levels, which is a positive thing. So there are some great examples of what we call active wards, where you might have images, for example, along the ward corridor, and you are able to say, oh, hello, Mrs. So-and-so, how far have you managed to walk today along the corridor? And they'll be able to say, oh, I got to the image of the bridge across. So you can use that as a way of talking about it. It means that the geriatricians or the doctors that come in to speak can say, have you been moving around today? How far did you get along the corridor? And it's a good way to, so in other words, you can make a ward space more comfortable for people to mobilise in. It'd be good to have patient lanes where they can move up and down the main corridor without risk of a chair or a piece of equipment being put there, with the handrail, perhaps a few chairs so they can sit down if they're a bit tired. All of these things which would encourage movement. I think that would be a really good way of starting.